It's Friday. It's the community update stream. Oh, we just had such a funny moment. Tankzars was running the stream. Me and PAINGOD had no idea. He's counting us in. We have no idea. I'm like, Tankzars, I can see the trailer running. Are we going live in a second? It was 3 seconds just before we went live.
It was,
that was lucky.
Just now we're talking, all we got was 3, 2, 1.
It was the curse of the double mute. So,
double mute, it plagues us. How are we doing, PAINGOD? How's it going, Tankzars?
A super, super busy week. Not bad. I like being busy. It just we were just talking like this morning. It's like stream today, and I'm like, holy, it's Friday already.
Yeah, it's crazy running up to the updates. I know it's for you guys on the development side. It's a little quieter on like publishing side because it's kind of like the calm before the storm for us, and we go to work, I guess, next week big time. So I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you guys enjoy what we've got here in 7.2. Okay, so what have we got to talk about today?
Let's see what was going on recently. So the last tanks reforged we did, the balance, it was the WZ Chinese TD line and 3 premium tanks. Man, the popularity and the play time of those Chinese tanks just took off. I sent you a chart over there if Tank Stores got it and can show it.
Yeah, let's take a look at. Oh my God, that jumps.
Yeah.
That jumps, wow.
The tier 10 being the lowest, of course, because not everybody has that, right? They're working on the on track and working towards getting there. But yeah, just the most they've ever been played. So cool. And we'll be watching their balance and see how that turns out. But everything looks good so far. I've seen a lot of fun with people posting pictures of the 2D pirate commanders, like the pirate key cards.
Yeah, I've seen some love for them. I forgot to completely talk like a pirate on Talk Like a Pirate Day, so sorry about that. But yeah, like hopefully you guys enjoyed something a little bit of fun. You know, you can take part in it if you want to. If you don't like pirates, then you don't have to.
It's better than wear your toga to work day.
We do that in Chicago.
Togas, kilts. There for a while there was Mad Men Friday, where a bunch of people would dress up in their 50s suits and stuff.
That's so cool. I've missed all of this.
This week, so we had Tuesday. We released the French Tier 6 M4a1 Fl medium. It's doing really well. We were thinking, it's a Tier 6 medium, you know, it'll do okay, but it's pretty popular. I've seen quite a few of those out on the battlefield.
Yeah, we're going to actually give one of those away today. So if you guys haven't seen already, we started it just as we were getting ready to go live. If you guys type hashtag 7.2 with your gamer tag and what console you play, you have a chance of winning the M4a1 Fl10.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll get that credited to you ASAP.
I saw the number of battles on it today when I was looking up other stuff. And I'm like, I'm going to have to actually play and check that out somewhere this weekend when I'm playing.
It's a decent little tank, yeah. We played it on Monday when we saw a little bit of the some of the changes that are coming up in 7.2 because we were on beta 1. But yeah, we enjoyed playing the FL10 against bots, but it was still a really good stream, really fun tank, and the maps are beautiful.
We also have started the Eastern Sniper Earn Challenge for the Yazi WZ 121 GFT. And after 3 days, 2,865 players have already earned it, which is pretty incredible.
That's crazy after 3 days.
I want to know how many, I got to look it up. Like, how many hours a day did they play to get it that fast? Because yesterday's stats, which is just the first 2 days, was like only 700. And so We got today's stats, which includes yesterday, Thursday. It's like, wow, it's almost 3,000.
It just shows, how dedicated our players are in this community. They, it's a great little tank, and players are just so dedicated to get them. So, not surprised, but also surprised. So I hope you guys are enjoying it now that you've earned it.
Then, so this weekend, so everybody that's been following the Tanks Reforged, get your tier 10s out, because it's the tier 10 silver challenge all weekend. I think it actually started this morning, right?
I am not too sure. Let's have a look.
Yeah,
I think it did. Yeah, if it's something over the weekend, they generally start in the morning, don't they? Yeah. So
you can win two times the silver for your battles, which is super helpful when you're playing tier 10. And then we released, after being asked a bunch of times, I don't know why it took us so long, the big booster bundles, the 25 and 50 packs that you get a much better discount on it. People have been asking about it.
Love them,
I promised we would bring them back. I hope I promised we'd bring them back towards the end of September, because that's where we're at now. But there they are for you to stock up.
Yeah, players love those bundles. They're really good for grinding. It makes those games. Maybe if you have a really good game, it turns into a massive payout for you. Or even if you struggle, it helps kind of make it more of a more acceptable game.
Yeah. I'm so glad we put the booster indicators in the garage, because I'd always go into a battle and do great at the end and wait for my multiplier and go like, I forgot to check the
struggle is real. Yeah, it's good that it's there. It's definitely an improvement that players have liked, and I like that little improvement we did.
And then for events that are coming up next week, starting Tuesday with the big release, premium tanks for free XP. There's a whole slew of tanks that you can get for free XP. We have some really fun cosmetics, emblems, and a metal urn challenge for October Fest. I was going to get the little icons and have them shown, but I was busy writing all these notes. I didn't get to it.
I will say as well, for those of you watching, this is a big list. This is a very big list of things to talk about.
I had more stuff to write. I just ran out of time. I wouldn't even have as much as I did if Lady Obscura didn't help me out and send me a bunch of info. And then on top of the new cosmetics, all cosmetics are on sale 50% off starting Tuesday. We have 2 new World War II skins that are earnable. One for I think we have pictures here. Tanksor. One for the BK 3601 H.
I'm looking forward to seeing this. I've not seen it yet. I like a good historically inspired skin. Oh, I love it. That's cool. That's giving off some kind of early World War II vibes to me. I love it.
And the ever popular Tiger 2 is going to have a skin. Again, these are ones you can just earn. Should be a screen for that too.
I'm waiting for it to come. I've got a delay on my screen here.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God, it's beautiful. That's giving off kind of like late World War II vibes to me. Lovely. And you said that both of these are earnable for the players as well.
Both of them earnable, and then there's an additional skin sold in a bundle for the Waffentrager E100. Now I was looking at, there's a screenshot for that too. I was looking at this morning and I didn't have time to find out what the history on that skin was, because it's pretty unique, but I don't know off the top of my head what that meant. Maybe one of my Skype helpers will pop up and tell me the meaning of the E100 skin there.
That's really cool. I like the kind of like camo net over the top of the Waffentrager there. Very cool.
Or maybe it was just a cool idea one of the concept artists have.
Yeah, I'd like to know as well. I always like to. I like to know kind of what the story is behind something, and I think that's kind of really like reflective of what a lot of our players like as well. They like to know what they're playing with here and its history.
Yeah, usually I know because I'm on the tickets, but I missed that one somewhere. There's a fun little challenge called First to Orbit to commemorate the launch of the original Sputnik in 1957, and it's a Sputnik emblem again. I'm sorry I don't have a picture for you, but that'll all be in articles on Tuesday. It's been 2 weeks, so we have another tank reforged.
It's nice.
And this is for the Swedish Siege tank destroyer line. They'll be on track, of course. It's the tier 8 through 10 Swedish TD that have the manually activated siege mode. You know, it's a little tricky, but it's a unique mechanic. It was a very popular line when we released it.
Yeah.
And we have a combination of usability improvements, like reducing the siege transition time, and less dispersion penalty when going between siege and non-siege. So I think players that like the siege tanks will really enjoy that. And then the lower tier siege tanks will mainly see improvements to their reload and their accuracy. So
excellent.
Take those out for a whirl.
Yeah, we'll get on Monday on the website an article which goes through all of these tanks reforged balance changes. So keep an eye out for that on. Should be nice and early on Monday.
And then we have our next version update. You know, our next release. I like using numbers; they don't mean anything to anybody, anyways. And it's really, if we're gonna name it, I would have called it the quality of life release, because this is another one where things have been building and building and building. So I'll try to go through this pretty fast, but custom games. We did usability enhancements, quality of life stuff. We added team battle chat, so that the room owner can say, "Hey, let both teams talk to each other while we're in the room, and argue and challenge each other and bicker and dicker and whatever." But that's only for the room. Once you're into battle, it's team chat only. And again, that's an option of the room owner.
That's good.
And then, as promised, a True Vision options where you can turn it on or off for either World War II or Cold War. So however you want to play your tournament or your custom game, you can turn it on and off. So happy to bring that to you.
Yeah, I think I'm curious as to see how the clans and competitive players are gonna use this. Are we gonna see True Vision World War II tournaments? Are we gonna see non-True Vision Cold War tournaments? That'd be interesting.
I think it'd be neat too if you could have different rules for different teams for challenges. Like if one team wanted to be the super stealthy team, and the other team wanted to be the technology team. We went over this last week, but just as a recap for those who weren't around, 4 classic World of Tanks maps have returned. Dukla Pass, that's battle tiers 5 through 11 and in World War II and all Cold War eras. Redshire, one of the maps where I end up getting shot because I stopped and looked at the scenery, and there's a nice Easter egg in there you guys are gonna love. Redshire is World War II battle tiers 5 through 11 and Cold War, post-war, and escalation era 1 and 2. How do you say that one? Helebron?
So on Monday, we got a chance to look at all of these maps, and I just made a fool of myself trying to pronounce it. I can't do it. Helebron.
That's for World War II battle tiers 5 through 11 and Cold War all eras. And then one of my personal gameplay maps finally returning, Murovanka. And that's World War II only, battle tiers 5 through 11. We had a lot of playtest of the Cold War eras on Murovanka, just for fun. And it's like spawn, countdown, snipe. You could shoot straight across the map to the other spawns. And so it was kind of like the shooting gallery at carnivals and stuff. Like nobody really moved off the line. Everybody was just trying to deal as much damage downrange as fast as possible.
Oh, dear.
But we didn't think that would be a fun experience in the live game, so we left that out of Cold War. Another returning favorite that I think I've promised to you is the plays up to tier display in World War II that tells you, what's the highest tier that you will see in the tank that you have selected, so that you don't have to have preferred matchmaking memorized or any of that kind of stuff.
That's a small one that'll make a big impact, I think.
Yeah, especially people that were used to it from before. Then you just stop memorizing things, and when it went away, I mean, I was like, when we first put it in, I'm like, really? Why do we need this feature, right? And then I got so dependent on it. Then I started going, oh wait, does this tank have preferred matchmaking? I don't know.
Yeah, I can never remember.
I've been told it is indeed Heilbronn.
Heilbronn.
Okay.
I finally figured it out.
And that the waffle's skin with the black eagle with the red talons is the coat of arms in Germany. Displays a black eagle with a red beak, a red tongue, and red feet on a golden field. Hence the gold, which is blazoned. This is the, oh great, more words I can't say. Bunsadler, which is German for federal eagle, formerly known as, I'm not even, the Imperial Eagle. So, thank you very much. That was Chuji giving me a history lesson.
Thanks, Chuji. Hope you're doing good.
One-time only purchase bundles will now stay in the store so they can be gifted. That was a big request because if you already bought or you already own the tank, then you couldn't gift it. So, man, you wouldn't believe all the edge cases and bugs that came out of that we had to. And then we found that whenever we tried to have a free bundle, like when we do turkey treats around Thanksgiving or whatever, it allowed you to gift it indefinitely. So there was all kinds of edge cases that we had to
Can you imagine that around the holidays as well? It'd be like all hands on station. Oh dear. So yeah, that's something I've seen for you guys for a long time. You purchase a bundle, it disappears. With this, it will not. So I'm never surprised by all of your generosity out there. You guys are so kind to each other with buying each other things, and so we're making it a little easier for you.
And then a feature that I promised a while back that I think was a request in the stream. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mintos. We added the Tank Ace mark of excellence. So when you reach 100% damage standing, your mark's excellent decals on your barrel will all turn gold.
Yeah,
and they're a sexy looking gold. I think I showed the picture in the stream.
We did show them here. Yeah, I'm interested to see how it plays out. You guys that have multiple marks of excellence, try it out. Let me know what you think, and I will pass on all of that for you.
Just when you thought the challenge was over.
Yeah, but wait, there's another star. There's
well, the thing mark. Is, you could 100% it before. There was just nothing to show it.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Horizontal tech trees. They made it in. I can guarantee they'll be there Tuesday.
Yeah, we saw them on Monday. Got some really good reviews from people who were watching on Monday. So, personally, you can see a lot more what's going on. It just makes more sense as you're like tracking from left to right. You see a lot more on there as well. So definitely a good move going back horizontal. So let me know what you guys think. When this gets released on Tuesday. For you guys asking questions as well, we are going to get to questions really soon. We just got a few other things to cover first, and then we'll get stuck into these questions. So as always, if you've already asked a question, please just keep asking, and we'll try and get through as many of them as possible. Thank you.
And I don't think we're done with the tech trees yet. I think there's still room for improvement. This is a vast improvement, right? But I think there's still room for improvement.
Definitely.
I have now been informed by multiple people that the interesting camo net on the waffle is the traditional German.
Oh, so it's an authentic one, yeah.
A made-up thing. That's actually what they look like with that interesting pattern. I guess I never really noticed that until it was draped across the front of the tank like that.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I couldn't see it on the last image, the Eagles. I'll be surprised if it isn't familiar to me, because I do like my German armored history. So we'll see. Oh yeah, I've seen that before. That's very cool. I love the front of that. Good job. Got the helmets on it as well. Yeah, very good.
We added a new category in the appearance tab so that skins are separate from camos, so they're easier to find. I mean, it was almost impossible to know what was a skin and what a camo was. So just a quality of life thing. We added your sector location to the mini map, just for easy, so you're not having to count off. You'd be like, I'm in E8, because now it just displays E8, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we changed the base icons to round, to circular, to represent the perimeter of the base to be captured, and on the mini map it roughly approximates the actual size of the base, so you know when you're getting close to it. And we added elevation indicators to the tank class icons, so we'll tell you if a tank is above or below you with a little arrow on it. I can tell you the distance I sit from my TV, I find to be a little bit small, so there might be some room for improvement there, but we figured let's get it out and see what everybody says, and we can adjust as necessary, because it's, of course, it's super, super helpful in, Mannheim, with the overpasses and stuff like that. By the time you come around the corner, you see somebody there and they're up above you.
It is. Yeah. That was one of the things that we saw on Monday as well when we was doing the stream. I started to see, what are these little arrows? And then I realized, oh, this guy's below me, this guy's above me. So it's another little thing just to help you on the mini map there.
I mentioned this last week, but multi-base assault has been removed from random battles completely, based on feedback from Super Test and community. The balance changes we made for random battles with the bases, we reverted those for custom games, so that they're back in the preferred locations for tournaments.
On behalf of the competitive players, thank you very much for that.
You have to thank our friendly neighborhood level designer.
We love the level designers.
And then one of my personal favorites, and the M1 Abrams. It's a little side job, a little sneak-in tank reforged. The M1 Abrams, after releasing the successive lines, it needed some help, so
it did big time.
It got a complete overhaul. The list of changes were like this long because it's on every chassis and component and stuff like that. So that will be published in the article with all the details on Tuesday, for those of you who want to know exactly what changed. But it plays better, and I'm much happier with it now.
Yeah, I was surprised when I saw that in the notes, but pleasantly surprised. It does get whooped at times in Cold War Era 3. So
we'll call it Tanks Reforged Underground, because that was a passion project of one of the designers to get that
nice. Good stuff. I think players will be happy to see that the M1 line's getting some pretty nice balances to it.
And then that's when I ran out of time. And there's a bunch. It'll be in the build notes. On Tuesday, there's a bunch of other bug fixes, quality of life improvements, just tons of stuff. That's why I said we should have just named this the quality of life release, because there's so much stuff in there.
Yeah.
And I mentioned the bigger things, but there's tons of little niggly things that you'll be like, oh, I can see what tank I have highlighted now. Oh, I know where I am in this menu now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let us know what you think.
Definitely.
I have some other random updates. Muffled shot, there was some question about whether it was working or not. It was very hotly debated internally, and dissected it and took apart. And it turns out it is working exactly as it was intended, but the description was misleading. So the description is now updated for Tuesday's release, which will be accurate. But spotting is such a complex system. I think only the people that noticed it wasn't working the way it was described will notice that the description now matches, and everybody else will be like, okay, it makes it harder to spot you. Like, I can't even explain that.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. It's
spotted versus spotted, and it's such a deep system.
The spotting is complex. I struggle with it as well. But our players are very smart, and they're able to help us identify this. So those of you, you know who you are. your testing after hours and stuff. But it's you are helping us, helping the game as well. So
yeah, thanks. I mean, that's an amazing amount of work with a retail build without even our debug tools.
Yeah.
And, looking at the files to sit down and figure out and what is exactly how they're working and what is wrong, or in one case, or maybe wrong, which is just text in the other case. And then I'm sure many people will be happy about this. We also, thanks to I think the same reporter, have been looking really, really deeply into Green Thumb. And I think I mentioned last week, it wasn't an easy problem to solve because it was based on code from 5 or 6 years ago or something like that. So anyways, we think we got it. So not necessarily for Tuesday because the fix is going into QA to be verified, but in the very near future, within, I would say within a couple of weeks, I hope, that will be fixed.
Brilliant. So yeah, some smaller things, but yeah, definitely will make an impact. So I'm sure everyone who's aware of the Green Thumb will be tracking that carefully. So stay tuned with these streams to keep up to date with it.
Clan stuff, I get asked about it, so I'm just going to preemptively. We're making progress on clan leaderboards, and setting up ways to account for people leaving and joining and other clans, and time slicing it so you can look at 7 days, 30 days, 90 days, not just all time. So that's in progress. I see check-ins, testing, discussing the formulas. I don't have an ETA yet, but I can tell you that's one of those. It was on the priority list, and now it's actually in production. It's actually in development, right?
Okay.
So it went from design doc and ticket to actually being worked on. The same with rank battles, which we're calling competitive right now, because it won't be the same incarnation of what rank battles was before. We're trying to make it better. That's actively being worked on. We just had the first set of tests to verify the data is from the server is going to the right place, going to the leaderboard, and that the formula is working correctly. Now we're working on multi-tank formula, right? So we can, rather than just say, only one tank can be used for this competitive, you could use multiple tanks and still have the ranking work across multiple tanks.
Okay, that sounds really interesting.
So at least we got that pipeline of the data going back and forth, and the formulas working, and now we'll run a bunch of simulations and make sure that verify. We'll probably run it in the live game under the hood for a while, and do samples of data to make sure everything's calculating right for the insane number of tanks and different factors that go into that. But it's in progress. It made a huge leap of progress in the last 2 weeks. Basically from being sitting in the parking lot and starting to pull out and go to the drive-through. So
okay, very cool. So yeah, we've got some movement on competitive and clan stuff then. So really good news for you guys. I know that's something that I've been getting from you guys a lot this week. So for those of you interested in the chat, I think you'll find, I know it's only early and kind of like not big details so far, but something is being worked on there. So good news, very good news.
Then I promised to update on commander customization. We had the design review, asked for changes, stamped it, moved forward. That is going into the kickoff meeting, which is when the work actually starts, right? We get somebody from every discipline that's a representative of that feature. We go through the whole design and get questions, and the tickets get generated and the work goes out, and the army of people start working on it. I can tell you, it's a big feature, and so we're trying to break it down into more manageable chunks and releases. So rather than take half a year to get it to you all, get it to you sooner. So the very first chunk we're going to focus on is changing name, changing the voice, changing the picture. So when you get a new commander, you're like, hey, I want this on my 9 skill commander. You can just go ahead and change that around. Also looking at maybe bulk skill transfer.
Brilliant. Yeah, that was something that we, I think was it Lady Jane asked about last week. So I hope you hear, and hope that the your question from last week has been answered today.
Then still here and there about too many light tanks in Cold War Era 2 and escalations. I mentioned we could possibly extend the timer. I got some positive feedback on that. I need to with Tuesday's release. There's a bunch of things that are backed up in my queue. I need to talk to the engineer about that and see what we can do there. We're also talking about frankly rebalancing the armadillo because especially in the skill player's hands, it's OP. And one of the suggestions actually from our AI engineer was like, don't nerf it, promote it. We're like, what?
Yeah.
He goes, rather than nerfing it, promote it to Era 3 and give it some buffs, and then that also helps with the too many light tanks in Era 2 and escalation. Went, huh? This was like in our playtest chat yesterday. I'm like, that's a really interesting way of looking at it. So we're looking at and discussing. So that's what we're trying to address. When it needs Cold War needs more tank lines, right, of different classes, and those are coming. They're scheduled. They're being produced. I just can't give them to you tomorrow, unfortunately. So we're looking to see what we can do there. And then still hear hey, we don't want Cold War maps in World War II. And then, no, we like those maps in World War II. And I don't want to take them away from the people that like them. With the release of the 4 maps on Tuesday, that gives us for the higher tiers in World War II 27 maps. The goal there is to have 30 maps because that's when matchmaker and never repeating maps and all that stuff works nice and yummy and good. So we're still shy of that 30 map goal. We'll hit it in our next version update with the addition of 4 more maps, but we'll only hit it by 1. So at that point, we'll say, okay, do we take at least one of the Cold War maps out of World War II? Because now they'll have 30, right? And we'll talk about it as we get closer to that. We'll talk about it and which map it should be. I'm pretty sure if the players voted, they would. I'm pretty sure I know what map they would want to take out, but we'll talk about it some more.
Okay.
I just got corrected by server engineer and player. We need 31 maps.
Okay.
TJ's math is wrong as usual.
Yeah, it's a hard one.
I should fact check my own notes before I have time.
That's okay.
Okay, so the release after the next release, maybe we can start paring down Cold War and World War II and have a healthy matchmaker.
So it's definitely on the radar. Then I'd say it's.
We're close. We're getting close.
Yeah.
We're 27.
Yeah, I'd just say to players, remember, like, you guys, we put like mines and port in higher tiers. And then you guys said it's not fun in higher tiers, so we took it out. We don't want to be going back on that again. Let's just solve the issue by getting some more maps in there, and then we can start talking about that.
Well, here's the interesting thing: once we have 31 maps, there's going to be a debate of do we keep the current new matchmaker, right, which is on a rotation that does randomize, but guarantees you never get 2 maps in a row. Or do we go back to the old system that it tries to make sure nobody gets 2 maps in a row, but occasionally somebody will, right? So that'll be something to talk about when we get to that time.
Yeah, definitely.
Because maybe what we have now is better than anything we ever had before. I don't know.
It guarantees it. Yeah. So.
What am I supposed to do?
Okie dokie. So I think that's everything we've got on our list. So we can start thinking about some questions now that you guys have been asking. Thank you very much, everybody, waiting patiently in the chat there, asking you questions. I know it was a little frustrating that you asked questions and then we kind of got to wait to the end to have them answered. But we've got a lot to cover, and going off on tangents will lose where we are. So we have time for questions now. Okay. I shall start with one if you're ready.
Yeah, shoot, man.
Okay. What have we got here? This is a question from Kellen. With the 4th gold marks of excellence coming on Tuesday, will there be any changes to the MOE calculations on Tuesday as well? I know that's it's a feedback point that players have been kind of talking about as we recently adjusted those calculations.
Yes, we recently corrected a math error, but there is no change in the calculation or formula or math or anything on Tuesday.
Okay.
None at all. I mean, I just got verified by the person who would know.
Thank you.
Our friendly neighborhood server engineer.
Yep. I'll keep gathering that feedback for you guys. I know that it's something that the long-term players are still talking about. So I'm aware you guys are still talking about it. Have we got? Could there be an option to upgrade a standard season pass after purchase to ultimate, knocking off the difference when doing it? I'm not too sure who that question was from, but do we have anything in mind for something like that?
Well, and that's come up quite a bit recently, and it's when we're discussing it, because of it's due to the way that we design our season pass and our ultimate season pass and our standard free season pass, and they're not like identical in any way. So it's a hard problem, and we're discussing it, right? So season passes in other games, it's like regular season pass, and then the upgraded season pass is plus 25 levels, but the content's all the same, right? But when you get to in our season passes, we always stuff with more goodies, right? So there's free season pass, paid season pass, which is plus on top, and then ultimate season pass, which is plus on top of the season pass, right? And I think because we've at times put exclusive tanks in there, or the tank is much cheaper to get that way than the bundle, people realize that afterwards and say, oh, well, I want to upgrade to that. And we're like, we have no way to understand what you are, your progress, all the stuff that you already got, whether you kept it or got rid of it or sold it, compared to the difference here, and award that and show you what that is to make sure it's right, to charge you the difference of wherever you're at on the levels. Like, I hope that makes sense, is because of how we designed the season passes, because one, we cause this complaint, right? Which I hate anything exclusive, and I argue against it all the time. So my argument is, let's restructure the season passes to be more like other games, so that things like that are possible, right?
Very cool, yeah.
But so there's another way, saying let's make the ultimate season pass more accessible to people. We're going to play with that, and by accessible I mean more affordable for people. We're going to play with that with the next season. And see how that goes, and it is being heavily discussed. It's come up from our social community, from customer service, and I want like a nice uniform system that's fair to everybody. So we're working on it. Thank you for asking.
Brilliant, thank you very much. Quick question from the Cynic on Xbox: can we address the pictures behind PAINGOD?
What what's there? I don't know why I'm on Skype. Like, you're this big on my screen, and I am like this. I can't even see myself.
It's like you got a hairy werewolf, some Frankenstein's monster.
Oh wait, that was for next week.
No,
we must change that. Hold on. Well, I guess the cat's out of the bag. You can't erase anything on the internet.
There's also.
This is the season art for. Can you guess what holiday?
Christmas.
Hey, that's what Christmas at my house looks like, believe me. I think it's one of the best pieces of key art for a holiday ever. Much more on this next week because that's one that was supposed to be. I switch computers. I go between my laptop and my desktop pretty frequently, and I get mixed up where I'm at.
It's an interesting looking vehicle behind you as well.
Maybe I just say that so I don't get in trouble.
Very cool. All right. We have so many questions. Got one from D Happy Poppy. Any updates on French light wheel tanks? I guess light tanks. Wheel tanks in general is something that I see asked about quite a lot. I know that you said. Yeah.
I think I've mentioned before. We're working on wheel tanks before the end of the year. Fingers crossed. We have one in the game. We're playing with the controls and how it drives around. Well, one of the level designers, is kind of built a test map with ramps and bumps and inclines and the different terrain resistance, so we can figure out how exactly we want it to feel and how it acts on the different surfaces. Are we going to do tire blow-offs? That have to be repaired. So it's like deep in progress, right? It's in the build. We can play with them. Well, there's one right now because we're just playing with one until we get it right. So we'd have to go back and remake the other ones if we go, we need a whole chassis change or a rigging change or a model change. It's actively in development, which to me means trending good by the end of the year, probably no later than the beginning of next year. Really looking forward to those because once we hold those, it, of course, will be the original French ones for World War II first, but then that gives us license to do all types of wheel vehicles in any era or mode of the game.
Okay. Got a few. I've got some brilliant questions from you guys today. Really props to you. Excellent questions that we can really get into here. One from Smash Troll 19667. I'm not sure if I've seen your name before. Welcome to the stream. Can you guys bring the last known position of tanks onto the minimap? I think PC has it. I was playing World of Warships before actually, and I think they have a last known position thing as well.
Highly controversial.
Interesting.
That is you're not going to put that in the game over my dead body, or it's the best feature in the world.
It's one of those. It's one of
those. Like the ticket came across my desk not too long ago, and it was like, do not. It was.
Yeah.
So it is not on the schedule. It's in a list of we should discuss this one day.
Yes.
But it's not even on the wish list yet because it's so controversial, and we have so many other things we need to do.
That's an excellent way of answering that, actually. It's every now and again, we are as passionate as you guys with these features, but every now and again, it's one of those things. It's like, we need to agree on this first. So I wouldn't expect something like that anytime soon, but great question, Smash Troll. I've got another question here from Kellen. This is going back to the clan and competitive things we were just talking about.
Yeah.
With these statistics mentioned, will a tournament-style game mode be coming at some point for clans to play together?
To be determined. If everybody that's been through the history, like we went through so many different iterations of ranked battles. And some are better than others. We'd always have it the old way. No, we don't like the old way. Or we like this way better. And we're trying to find something that is more fair and usable whenever we want to, right? So whereas ranked battles before was a dedicated game mode unto itself, which took all its own extra UI and programming and server programming and matchmaking and all this stuff, right? It was a mode outside of the game. What we're trying to advise is a system that can also be automated rather than us say, okay, we're going to do this weekend, guys, and then we're going to pull the data and we'll let you know on Tuesday or Wednesday and give out the prizes, right? We want everything automated, right? So you can go and look at your status like real time. So what we're over the first hurdle of technically we can do it. How best do we implement it? How do we move forward to it? With it and what will what's the grand vision of this thing to be now that we have the technology to do it. So I really don't know yet. I don't know what's going to come of it. This is like me telling you what was in my email box, like either last night or this morning, because it's that real time of in development right now.
Okay, so TBD. Those of you that are interested, in where that I'd develop, find me your feedback. I'll make sure I collate it and pass it on. Thank you. Okay, I've got a few more questions here. Personal question for you, PAINGOD, from Danny Hellfire. Big question, PAINGOD, are you a metalhead? I guess. What kind of music do you like, PAINGOD?
Well, I used to be in the music business long before I got into computer games. So I was exposed to a lot. So I like all kinds of music. My tastes are very varied, but I grew up on Metallica and Ozzy Osbourne and Megadeth, and saw them all in concerts in the late '80s.
Wow, that was the height as well of
my first concert was Metallica opening up for Ozzy Osbourne's Diary of a Madman tour.
Oh my god, I just got goosebumps.
So I do I do love metal, but I can listen to all kinds of music.
Yeah.
I even have a favorite country artist. And
yeah, I like a bit of everything as well. I'm a music person as well, for those of you in the chat that might not know, but yeah, oh my god, great choice.
Except for anything they would play in a nightclub.
Yeah, I'm too old for nightclubs these days.
I just can't stand the noise and the high-pitched voices and the auto-tune repetitiveness.
I have nice shoes, and they always get stood on in nightclubs. All right. A question from Vishar here. Do we have any updates on the Spectator HUD?
I think the work still progresses on that. I think there's even something in this update for Spectator. Let me find my page of secrets.
I noticed something small going in on Tuesday, but I know that some of the bigger stuff isn't due for 7.2.
Not you're in well. This is I was in my replay section. Sorry. Efficiency information will be displayed for the vehicle you're spectating. Got in this time. There's we have that whole list and
yeah,
it's being worked on. But when you get to like spectator and even replays, a lot of that stuff involves the HUD, and I'm very limited on HUD engineering resources. So new things come up, like new features or bug comes up, we have to pull them off these improvements. So he tackles them, in between bigger things or whenever time allows.
Okay. Just looking for some other questions here. Thank you, Modern Call Out, for sending me all of these brilliant questions. I really appreciate it. It saves me from going looking for them myself.
I have one.
Okay.
I don't know how sold data 57. Can you ask about armor modeler? It still shows no red anywhere on any tanks, Era 3 or otherwise. Mouse armor profile is depressing. It's not really a bug because it's how the original scale works, and we started having armor thickness and penetration values that exceeded the scale. So what we need to do is expand that scale to account for that. And that's an active JIRA ticket on engineers' plate to do that. I don't know where it is in the priority list, but I do understand what the issue is, and there is a ticket to expand that scale, so it gives you a more differentiation once you get up into the tanks with the thicker armor.
Okay, brilliant. Question from Midway Bear Cub 07. Any updates on the classic World War II HUD? I think it's still in design.
That's still assigned to the to a concept artist or a creative director, right? And I don't think it's been started yet, but there is a task for it.
Yeah.
But for all of you that have been with us, just the incredible amount of stuff we've done this year, and then when we get to fourth quarter, all the extra stuff that we do for starting at Halloween all the way through January. So the end of the year is always the busiest part. So I believe once we get around to the beginning of the year, we'll get to some more of those. Would like to do but have no time at the moment.
Yeah, the wish list. All right.
So someone said if we're gonna bump the armadillo, please bump the PZ45. When I talk about a controversy there.
That could be another one of those where you upgrade it and put it into the higher tier.
That's what the suggestion was. That tank's been argued about for years, and every time we've gone to touch it, it's like, no, don't touch it. I'm like,
yeah, it is a controversial take.
And the people that got it and have it and own it and they love it, right? And we'd be like, don't touch my tank, right? And the people that don't have it are like, you need to nerf that thing or let me buy one.
I think even some with it, and they are playing it, and they're like, "Oh, this is wrong. I'm stomping on people here."
Yeah, someone reminds me. Maybe Lady Obscura can make a note for me. But I believe every time this comes up, when we go look at the stats, we go, not really all that OP. But it's a legendary tank, right? Because of how it was released, and yeah, I can try to get some stats for you next week to tell you how that tank actually performs, and we'll see what happens with the armadillo if we do that, and that goes over as a well and a positive change. Then we could consider it for other tanks. Sure.
Excellent. Very cool. All right. We've talked about this quite a lot. I don't imagine that the answer has changed, but it has been asked a number of times in the chat by various different people regarding platoon sizes. We don't have any plans to adjust the sizes of platoons, I assume.
No plans for that.
Yeah.
It was horrible for Matchmaker before. It would be horrible for Matchmaker now, and it's just if we did that, we would have to take away other improvements to keep Matchmaker from blowing up.
Yeah, we don't want that, do we?
It's two more factors of complexity. There was an ask to, well, hey, since there's not really Matchmaker in co-op, could we get 5-player platoons, for that? And not a bad idea at all. And a ticket was created and is probably sitting on my plate, but it wouldn't get any priority right now because it's only for a single game mode, not for the game overall. And right now we're really trying to focus on things for the game overall.
Yeah, that's funny. But just before you said having larger platoon sizes in co-op, one of our regular stream viewers, Great Graham, suggested that would be a good idea, and it would be something good actually. Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, someone was having a conversation with players, I don't know, a week or two ago about bigger platoons, and then they were like, hey, we thought of this. How about a platoon only battle mode, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, we started the game with that, right? We had platoon only battle mode. It would let you platoon up to 7 players, right? And it was separate from random battles so that it wouldn't affect the random battle matchmaker, and there are just not enough people playing platoons to keep it alive. And then what was happening was friends, we'll say, would arrange to like just 3, 2, 1 go, in the matchmaker to know that they could play, and then they could inflate their stats and get complete ops and stuff like that, because the other team would just all go dead and let them just kill them or shoot them. The people were pumping up their MOEs that way and their stats and stuff like that.
maybe that's something to keep in mind with competitive stuff with clans. But yeah. So no plans for any adjustments to platoon sizes?
No plans at this time, other than, as I just showed you, we discussed it. This week or last week, it's not like we're like, no, we don't want to do it. It's like it will break the game, and or we have to give up other things and other improvements to have that back in, and you will have less balanced matches. And we've been working towards more balanced matches, and we continue to do so. So that would be a huge step back. So it's not really even under consideration. I apologize.
Yeah. I'm running low on questions here. We've already got through a lot. We are actually past our allotted time as well. So do you have any final ones?
I have one final. Any news on this? Happens every time I announce the next reforge line. What's
the next?
The Great White 56. Well, what's the next reforge line after the Swedish TD? I'll give a hint. It is related to my least favorite household pet.
It's cats, isn't it? These damn cats.
I don't even call them my least favorite because they're cute. They can be cuddly sometimes, but other than that, they're
stay away from you.
The internet's too full of them. So,
yeah. You're terrible.
That's what I should have started with was like, the internet is too full of pictures of these.
It's related to cats.
Rather than express my personal opinion. But you all know it already. I've been asked about, can we put kitty cats in the game for years?
All right, so there's your clue. The next Tanks Reforge is related to cats. Okay, before we get on out of here, I'm going to draw our winner for the M4a1 Fl10. You guys will be credited that in the next few days, up to 3 days, not including the weekend, so keep an eye out for it next week. And we've got Mylerion, another name I'm not familiar with, so congratulations. It's rigged. Congratulations. Enjoy your brand new tier 6 French medium tank. GG's. Yeah, guys, I'm sorry if we didn't get through any of your questions. We did try and get through as many as possible, but we've been here for a good hour now, and so I will try and answer any further questions that you guys have over on Discord. While I'm writing up the recap notes for this stream, we will see you guys next Friday. We won't be with you on Monday this week, but keep an eye out for the articles on the next version update. So that'll be coming on Tuesday, but the article's coming out on Monday, I believe, along with Tanks Reforged. So yeah, any final words for the viewers today, PAINGOD?
Well, someone had to say the PZ45. And I told you that was controversial, and now my Skype messages are being thrown, stats are being thrown at me. It says, really quick stats, it's only 3% average across all skill levels, so performing well, but not all that OP. And then over here, our friendly neighborhood servo programmer, when I said that, he's like, yes, with a bunch of exclamation marks, it's OP when it's top tier. And then because he also was a proponent for the marks of excellence, the 4th marks of excellence, and he did the work on that. He's given the marks of excellence stats for tier 5 mediums and showing that the PZ54 is much higher and rated more like a tier 6 medium for its top for 100%ing its marks of excellence. And I'm getting little charts and graphs in my Skype. So yeah, that's was one of those things. That was great when I talked about RDA last week. It kind of had the same thing happen, and now we have this like really deep, super long email conversation going on. What have to do about already. Some of us are already, talking about it, but people in the studio watch the stream, and the ones that care were like, "Hey, I want to get on the conversation," which is great. I mean, that's the fun part about developing games, that we miss being all working from home, because otherwise, this person I would have saw getting coffee 5 times a day, hallway chatter, lunch chatter, whatever, it would have come up, right? And he wasn't aware we were discussing it already in a ticket until I talked about it on the stream. So, yeah, like Minto says, the debates you have out in about the live game in the real world happen internally all the time.
They do. They do. All right. This is another one of those good things about the streams, because we end up talking about some of these big player, issues, and then we end up debating about them even more. So I'm glad that we have these streams to do this with you guys. All right. Before I pass out of being overheated in my absolutely stifling room here, we are gonna get on out of here. We'll see you guys on Friday. I hope you guys really enjoyed the update on Tuesday, and I hope that you all have a lovely weekend. And Tankzars here is going to go and raid someone. Most likely it'll be our Polish friend Hinsel. So enjoy his gameplay and go and bug him. We've done the winners, Lady Obscura. We've done it. There's already a winner. You missed it. Bye, everyone.
That's because she was feeding me questions. Everybody have a good weekend. See you on the battlefield.
All right, take care, everyone.